can we get this Rick Harrison on? This fascinates me, and it's my honor to introduce Rick Harrison. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Well, I'll bet you are. Tell me something. How did your show get started? I mean, did somebody just show up and say, I have a great idea for a TV show?
I was pitching it for years, and everyone told me no one wants to see a show about a pawn shop. And then I got a hold of this Left Field Pictures, and they had a different idea, and then History Channel really liked the show.
This is fascinating. So it was your idea?
Yeah, it was my idea. For years I tried to get this going, and everyone said, who wants to see a show about a pawn shop?
You're quite an entrepreneur, aren't you?
Yes, I am. But I haven't worked for anybody since I was 16.
Yeah, I read a little history about you. I mean, you really fascinate me. Now, you've had this pawn shop with your dad for over 20 years, right?
Yeah, we got our pawn license in '88.
Now, are you all from Las Vegas?
No, I grew up in San Diego. My dad, mom and dad are from North Carolina.
Yeah.
And in '81, when during the Carter administration, when everything went to hell, my dad lost everything and packed up the family and moved to Vegas.
And was it his idea to start this pawn shop?
Well, when we got to Vegas, it was we couldn't get a pawn license. There was none available. He opened up a small second-hand license, and we always wanted to get a pawn license. So in '87, I found a little flaw in the city code that said I could get one.
You're amazing. So you looked at the city code, you found a gap in the code, and you got your license.
Yeah, it's a slightly long story, but to make it a short version, back in 1955, the good old boys got together and decided they didn't want no more pawn shops. The city population was 25,000 at the time. So they wrote a new city code saying that when the city population got to 250,000, they'd issue one.
Oh.
And I read the law. In '87, I started calling the city statistician once a week. And in April of '88, they said they think it's now 250,000. And 5 minutes later, I was a business license.
That's a great story. Has anybody ever asked you that question before? Say no, please.
No.
Okay, good. Now tell me about your son, Corey. He fascinated. How old is he?
He's 27.
He's 27, and he's been doing this since he was a kid, right?
Yeah, I used to, whenever he was bad, I would just take him to work with me.
Now, can I be honest with you? That's a big kid. He could probably kick your butt, so you got to be a little careful, right?
But he's not allowed to.
No, that's right. He loses his job, maybe.
I mean, he's always been a big kid. I mean, he was a heavyweight wrestler in high school. But still, when he was being bad when he was a teenager, his mom is 5'2".
Really?
He would make him bend down so she could smack him.
Well, let me ask you. Wait a minute. Is that your dad laughing there?
No, that's me.
That's you. All right. Let me ask you a question. What do the women think? You have a wife. I don't know. Is your mother still alive?
Yeah, my mom's still alive. My wife thinks the show is great as long as she never has to be in it. And I also have a 7-year-old that is never going to be in the show either because she says it's not going to happen.
That's pretty good too. Now your father, he's a very interesting guy. He's the curmudgeonly guy on the show, but he's hilarious. And who is the bigger owner of the store? You or him, or are you even partners?
We're even partners.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't believe it.
He doesn't believe it.
Well, it's working with your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I could be an even partner with my father, but to him, I'm still 16 years old.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes the show great. And I got to tell you something. This was your idea, getting your license. You figured out how to do that. You are the American dream, aren't you?
Yes, I absolutely love capitalism. I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
And I can tell that because on the show you say time and time again, sir, that's great, but I'm here to make money. I love when you say that. I'm in business. I don't want to go out of business. And that's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in business here 22 years. I think it's, 3% of the businesses out there have been in business that long? Most businesses, 97% of the businesses fail by this time.
Now that you guys have been on TV and you're one, if not the most popular, one of the most popular shows on cable, I think I read you're the most popular. You must have lines outside the door when you're to get into your store. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's true. Some days on the weekends I can have a few hundred people in line out front.
How many employees do you have about?
When I started the show, I had 17. Now I have 43.
Wow. You ready for government health care? Because you're going to have to handle all that. Don't answer. I don't want to drag you into it. You'll get a lot of nasty emails like I get.
I do provide every one of my employees medical care, though.
Yeah, well, see,
I pay a lot of money for it, and I would hate to see the price go up.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. Now, let me ask you something. You're a very honest man, I noticed, too, because somebody walks in with, like the other day, with a gold bar, and you're there, well, there's some barnacles on this. Now, you could have grabbed that thing for $2,000 and then hoped for the best. Wouldn't have broken you, but instead you brought your expert in, and I think it cost you like $12,000. I forget what it was. I mean, I know you can get burned on the other side of this, but you want to do the right thing, don't you?
Well, it's that whole 7 degrees of separation. The day I start ripping people off is before you know it, everyone's going to know I'm a thief. If I sit there and I'm completely honest with them, before you know it, everyone's going to know I'm honest, and that's why I'm one of the largest pawn shops in the country.
And how many square feet is your place about?
I have over 10,000 square feet, and I'm doing a 6,000 square feet expansion.
Oh, you are expanding?
Yeah.
Now, this is what I mean, everybody. This is a man who is expanding in the middle of this really terrible recession, and the recession in Nevada is horrific, in Las Vegas. But you pushed for this show, you had an idea, you wouldn't say no. It is an absolutely fabulous show. You've got an enormous viewership, and you're successful as a result of it. There really is a lesson there in your family, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, like I said, I've never worked for anybody. I mean, the only real job I've had besides working for myself was when, in 1981, I had a job as a busboy at the Stardust. Mm-hmm. And after doing that for a month, I decided that I was never going to work for anybody else again.
Well, you know what? That's funny.
I've been rich, I've been poor so many times I can't count, but I keep on trying.
You keep it. Now, let me ask you, if it's not too, how old are you?
I'm 45.
You're 45. Well, you're a pretty young man, really, to be honest with you. 45.
I'm not that old. I'm born in 1965. That makes me like 29.
Let me ask you. let me ask you this: as a fellow bald guy, now it looks like you're not that bald. You just shaved some of that, right?
No. I have the whole horseshoe thing going on. I started shaving it when my son Corey told me it looked like a cornfield in a drought.
Now, this guy, who is the guy that turns all these great things like Coke machines and what is that guy's name?
His name is Rick Dale. He's an old friend of mine. This guy can do anything with metal.
It's unbelievable. And by the way, seems like a sweetheart, too.
He's a great guy. I mean, but literally, he is the best at what he does. He can turn... I can drop off anything to him. He always tells me, I can make this thing look like anything you want me to. It's just a matter of money.
And I notice you're pretty good at that. You're pretty good at keeping the controls on. Have you ever really, really gotten burned with anything?
Oh, there's been times I've been burned plenty of times. I'm the most people don't realize this. Pawn shops have been vilified by Hollywood. Pawn shops are one of the most regulated businesses in the country. I have to download police reports on every single thing I buy every day. Mm-hmm. But one day I asked this guy all the questions. He was wearing a suit and everything else. I gave him $40,000 for a pair of diamond earrings. And the next day the police came in here and took them from me.
Oh, my God. So that was a bad week.
That was definitely a bad week.
Well, I'm up against a hard break, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to be in Las Vegas one day. I'd like to come by and meet you guys. Is that okay?
That'd be great. We can do lunch or something.
I'd love it. Lunch on me. You can bring Corey, too. Bring Chumley. Bring everybody.
Okay, if you're going to bring Chumley, you better have a big wallet.
Believe me, I'm going to take out a loan. All right. Well, God bless you, man. I speak for millions. We really, really enjoy your program, and keep it up.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.